Hello, hello, and welcome back to Coffee Stained EDU podcast. This is your host, Geneva Rodriguez, and I am trying something new today. I know I did one video before, and it was for, I believe, the Danielson rubric. It was the first domain, but I didn't really like how it felt, so I just, stopped doing it. But I decided today to do another video, and hopefully it goes well, and we can continue doing so. This is my son Dominic. Dominic, say hi.
Hi.
And I decided to do something different for this episode. This is episode 19. And we were watching a movie earlier today, and I just thought, how cool would it be to have a student's perspective? I did read a book a while ago when I was a teacher, and it was called I Wish My Teacher Knew. I think that was what the title was. I'm sorry if I'm chopping that up. I will look it up, and I'll actually share it under the resource tab. I think we actually gave your teacher that book this year during Teacher Appreciation Week. So I will actually put it up. It was an awesome book, dope book, real dope, real dope book. And I do feel every educator should read that book. And before I start the episode, before I share what the topic is, I'm going to go over what I usually go over. The website is www. It always sounds like I say more. coffeestains.org. Our Instagram is coffeestains_edu. And you can listen to us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. I also upload the episodes to the website. So if you just want to go on there and listen to it online, you can do so. You can also find some resources. Any resource that I reference during our episodes, you can find under the resource tab. I am what? I don't even know what I was gonna say. Anyways, let me go. So I don't edit any of my content. So how you get it is how you get it. How you hear it is how it was recorded. It's raw, authentic material. I try my best to just share. I don't just try, I do. I try, no, not I'm tripping. So I don't I'm just jump right. I don't edit the content because I want you to get me for who I am. I want you to trust. I want you to listen and generally get me and believe what I'm saying. I just speak from my knowledge, from my wisdom, from my knowledge, my wisdom, my experience. It's weird watching myself talk because I'm acknowledging the things I say and then my facial expression. So it's true. A lot of people say, oh, you talk really, you make facial expressions, you talk with your hands. But I do. Anyways, so I just want you to really take what I say and apply it. If you can get something out of my episodes, then awesome. Apply it to your life. I try to make each episode 25 minutes or less, but sometimes I go off on rants, as obviously I'm doing it right now. But some topics definitely need a lot more than 25 minutes. Okay. So again, thank you to all my listeners. I love the feedback that you give me. I love the suggestions that you give me for episodes. Keep sending them. You can email me at genevarodriguez30@gmail.com. You can DM me, slip up in my DM. Slip up in my DM on Instagram, which is coffeestains_edu. Yeah, so let's just jump right in it. So this is my son. He's Dominic. He's in 4th grade. He actually is in my school this year. So this episode is going to be about a student's voice, a student's perspective. And I have a couple of questions that I'm going to ask Dominic. And because he is new to this podcast and new to recording, and sometimes he just needs a little bit more wait time to gather his thoughts and to deliver. We did go over some of the questions before we recorded. I'll let you know that because I usually don't go over any of the content, but because I have a special guest and he's in 4th grade, I had to be mindful of that, right? So I might ask some random questions that we didn't discuss. If he doesn't feel comfortable answering it, or if he doesn't have an answer for it, it's okay. Dominic, just express that, okay? You need to use words because the audio. Okay, he was shaking his head. Because some people might watch the video, but some people might just listen to the audio, right? So we need to speak. Okay, so we're gonna just jump right in. Okay. So Dominic's in 4th grade. He's in my school. This is his first year in my school. And I'm gonna ask him some questions. And Dominic, I just want you to be honest and
Okay.
express yourself as much as you can. Do not use any names of any teachers, right? So just share generally, and think about all your teachers. Don't just think about your fourth grade teacher. Think about your third grade. You could think about your cluster teachers, which is your science teacher, and your math teacher. I mean, not your math teacher, your gym teacher, your dance teacher. When I ask you these questions, try to think of all your teachers and answer as best as you can, but use complete honesty, okay? All right, so the first question, oh, and the reason why I chose to do this episode was because it's important as educators to listen to our audience, right? To listen to our customers, our customers. If you're a teacher, your student is your customer. And how can we become better educators if we don't listen to our students and know what they want or how they view us, right? So as educators, we get observed from administration, right? But they come into the class. They're not in your class every day, right? Dominic, you've seen administration come into your teacher's class and they have observed your teachers. They're sitting there writing notes and they're basically keeping track. I mean, they're basically observing and using a rubric to see if your teacher is implementing or using best practices according to a rubric, okay? So how cool would it be if you can actually have a rubric like that from your students, right? How cool would it be if you give your students a survey so that they can tell you about their experience in the classroom from their perspective and how you can improve? I think that would be a dope idea for all educators or all administrators to implement. You know what? I might even try to talk to our principal about that for maybe next year moving forward. For students that are capable of making those decisions, right? To to have a rubric or to have a survey that they can complete for teachers to reflect on. I think that would be pretty dope. But anyways, that was what motivated this episode. And I don't even know how long I'm in, but like I said, sometimes I go over. Hopefully I'll stay under 25 minutes. So let's jump right in it. So Dominic, how can teachers help students feel welcomed and comfortable in the beginning of the school year?
I think like like um like like um like greeting you and telling things about themselves, like, and how like things go on in the classroom,
Like, letting you know about the rules and
Yep.
expectations and stuff like that, rules, okay.
And then like doing activities to like get to know each other, like all the students like do these activities.
Okay, like getting to know me activities, which I think a lot of teachers do, right? Did your teacher do that in the beginning of the year? Right. So getting to know me activities, that was what you just said, which is pretty cool. And I think all teachers should do that. I believe most teachers do that. Now, I can't speak for everyone, but I know when I was in the classroom, I was so excited for those activities and I wanted to get to know my students. And those first few weeks of school, we're not really jumping into the academics, right? We're focusing on building relationships.
Yep.
And getting to know one another. And I like how you said, Dominic, sharing parts of me, right? The teacher. You want to know about the teacher. That's important. Why do you think you want to know about the teacher? How does that help you as a student in that class?
What do you mean?
Well, you said you would like the teachers to share some stuff about themselves, right? Why would you want to know? Why would you want the teachers to share some stuff about her? What would it help you with?
It would help me like it would make things like easier throughout the year, because like sometimes my friends like forget our teachers' names.
Okay, which usually happens in the first couple of weeks of school because it's the teacher's new to you, right? And
you gotta get used to them.
right. But you said you want to know more about the teacher, like maybe her favorite color. Does she have kids? Does she have a pet? Does she like to read? Like, why would you want to know that information?
So like we could so like we could
When you're getting, so let's dial back, right? So if you're getting to know your friends in the class, right?
Mhm.
You're sharing, what are you sharing about with each other?
We're sharing like what we like to do,
Mm-hmm.
how our life is, and what we like what we like to watch, if we like to read.
So your interests, your hobbies,
Yeah.
you might share things you don't like, right? Like I know when I was in the classroom, I used to do a getting to know me, but it would help me with how I'm going to lead my instruction, how I'm going to teach my students, right? And we're going to talk about that a little later. So you might want, like with the teacher, she might ask you some questions. What do you feel are your strengths? What do you feel are your weaknesses? What subjects you might like in school and what subjects you might not like, right, Dominic? So what subjects you don't like in school?
Mostly math. It's hard. A lot of kids
Yeah.
don't like math because
Right.
it's challenging.
Right.
They also,
Right.
some kids say that it's like time wasting.
Ooh, okay. I wouldn't agree with that, but again, that's from a child's perspective, a student's perspective, so I'm gonna let you rock with that. But so if a teacher asks you, what is your weaknesses or what subject you don't like, and you say math, can that help? Is that helpful information for them?
I mean,
Do you think that's helpful for the teacher to know?
I mean, not really.
Why not?
I mean, because like,
Why shouldn't a teacher know if you don't like math? So if I know you don't like broccoli, Dominic, am I going to give you broccoli? Am I going to try to like bribe you with the broccoli maybe, or like negotiate with you the broccoli? Probably, right? Or like make a deal with you, right? Like, okay, I know you don't like the broccoli, but you need to try a little bit of the broccoli, right? I'm going to give you some with your meal, but you have to eat some of it. You don't have to eat all of it because I know you don't like it, but you have to because it's healthy, right? It's good for you. So let's think about it with math. If the teacher knows you don't like math, she's going to be very mindful of that when she's giving you work, right? She's going to know, oh, Dominic is not really a fan of math. He feels like it's hard. He might feel it's a waste of time. So I'm going to help him become comfortable or end up liking math, right? So she might provide you some supports, right?
Like, she or he could give you like some tools.
They could
give you like beginner questions,
right? Some manipulatives to help you, maybe some support from your friends, maybe more practice, an anchor chart, right? But even us, like we just had a moment where you was having a hard time with math, right? And how did I help you? What did I do?
You explained like step by step, and
right,
and like if it's too hard, I could take a break.
Right. But you have to do what first? You have to try it. Right. You have to try it first. So don't you think if your teacher asks you what's your best subject or what's your least favorite subject, that can help her help you in the classroom?
Yep.
Right. And that kind of goes into one of the other questions that we had discussed earlier. So a few things like you just said, how a teacher can make you feel comfortable. They can share about themselves. And you didn't really tap into that. Like, why do you think a teacher should share about themselves?
So you can get to know them.
Right.
You can like
build what?
You can build relationships.
Give me five, boy. Come on, that's what we're doing here. It's all about relationships, right? So you want to build relationships with your teachers. So you need to know about your teachers. You need to know that they're human. They make mistakes. They're just like you. They have lives outside of work. They're not these robots that come in robots. I said robots. Robots that go into school and they just work and they're in front of the classroom and they give you homework. Thank you. And they don't have lives. They have kids. They have pets. They go on vacations, right? They like pickles with ice cream. I don't know. Like, it's nice to know a little bit about your teachers because you can make a little personal connection. Because what if, oh, I have a dog, right? Oh, I have a cat. And now you have that connection with your teacher and you're building relationships. And that's important. And why do you want a relationship with your teacher?
So like,
does it help you feel safe or welcomed in the classroom?
You could also like instead of them just providing you support, you could provide them with some support.
How are you gonna provide support to your teachers?
Like
He's schooling them. Nah, but how you gonna how you gonna provide support to your teachers?
um, um like when they're having trouble on something like making like a slide or like
So using
prop
technology, right? Yeah.
and with like how things go on in the classroom, like helping students.
Okay. Okay. So you can help your teacher. You also, I like how you still help them with slides, right? Because some teachers are not tech savvy. They don't know how to use electronics, and kids like this are born with a tablet in their hand. They know how to use technology. So that's a skill that you have that you can probably share with your teachers, right? So not only are you learning from the teachers are learning from
You.
drop the mic. Mm, 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 mm. All right. So getting to know me activities, getting to know the teacher, and being clear. The teacher can make you feel clear, welcome and comfortable if they set the tone with expectations, rules, right? What they need from you in the classroom. Boom. All right. The next question was, what skills or attributes, I said like some traits, right?
Yeah.
Do you think makes a great teacher?
Like
Yeah, you had shared a couple of things about a teacher you previously had. What made that teacher so awesome or so great to you?
like she was funny, she was helpful,
How was she helpful? I think that's a good one because we
she
know teachers are there to teach, right? And they're supposed to help us, but how does she go above and beyond?
she took her time to help different students. She was like giving them material. She was
And she made
explaining
learning what?
everything. She made learning fun as well.
Fun. We need that, right? So like you said, math is boring.
They
She used what to make math fun?
she did like these little activities
Games and stuff?
yeah, like
Okay.
games, like so like a math puzzle, like multiplication
Right.
puzzles.
So making learning fun is something a great teacher does, right?
Mhm.
And she is fun or he is fun, he's helpful, right? And what else? What do you think? What else? Is there anything else you think makes a great teacher?
Um,
Do you want a teacher that's mean and nasty?
no.
No.
I
So
want
a great teacher,
a great teacher would be like a teacher who's nice, who is like caring,
mm,
who is
P. I'm thinking of a word with a P. P.
who is patient.
Yeah. Who is patient? Yes. Right, because everybody learns differently, correct?
Mhm.
And if you take it, it's taking you a little longer to complete a task, and the other student is already finished. Do you want your teacher to rush you or make you feel like you can't, you don't have, you gotta get done, whatever?
No,
No. And if you're having a hard time, you want a teacher that's going to what?
help you.
Help you, right? Have patience to help you. And how can she help you? Like, what can she give you, or what can she do for you?
Like she could explain it over again
In a different way,
in a
right?
different way,
Yep.
like in an easier way. So you like,
Well,
I mean,
to,
I mean,
in a different way,
most,
right? Because it might
yeah.
be easy, it might not come out as easy, but if she explained it one way, you didn't get it, maybe asking, and maybe she'll give you she'll have another way of explaining it, right? As a leader, we look for that in the classroom. When we go to see teachers, we want to see, okay, if a couple of students got it or didn't get it, how are you adapting that, right? How are you modifying the way you just taught it to support all your learners, right? So that's what you're saying right now. You want your teacher to
Like,
explain it a different way.
Yep.
Help me see it in a different way. Okay. Anything else that makes a great teacher before we move on to the next question?
like a teacher that
You don't have to have anything else. I mean, if you think about it later, you can share it. So a fun teacher, a helpful teacher, a patient teacher, a caring teacher, a kind teacher, right? That's a lot of good stuff that makes a great teacher, right?
and I don't know.
No? Okay, that's fine. All right, let's go into the next What is one thing you think teachers should know about their students? I liked your answer before for this one, and then we were speaking about it. Hopefully you remember that. What is the one thing you think teachers should know about their students?
How they like to learn.
Drop the mic. You do it. Hey. Okay. How students learn. I'm gonna repeat that because that's important too. When we go into the classroom and observe you teachers, we want to know that you took the time to get to learn your students' way of learning, so you could provide them access to that unit, to that activity, to that lesson. And when do you do that, Dominic? In the beginning of the year, right?
Yep.
When you get to know your students, when you do those surveys, when you have those getting to know me activities, you should be using that to get to learn how to become familiar with how your students learn, because we know no two students learn the same, right, Dominic?
No, like my friend,
don't say any names.
No. Okay. She does it like differently, and like I do it in a different way. So like
right. So you learn differently. So and even like how you receive the information the teacher is giving you, like you had just said it. If my teacher explains it in a different way, right?
Yep.
So she needs to know that you, Dominic, you learn differently. So she needs to explain that in a different way from how your other friends got it, right? Your other friends might have got it. All right, she explained it, boom, 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 I can start my activity. You might need another way because you're still struggling, right? And the teacher will only know that if she got to know you in the beginning of the school year, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So I think that was really big about that's the one thing, and I think that was a big one. The one thing that teachers should know about the kids. And I love how my son said that, and that was his first thing. And this is from a student's perspective. He's in the classroom. He wants his teacher to know how he learns. He wants his teacher to know how his friends learn, so that she can support them and provide them with the tools they need to learn the skill, right?
Yep, right.
So now let's go to the fun question. If you could change one thing about your school, what would it be and why?
Recess time. Because in my school, whenever we have recess, we like to play for a long time.
Don't all kids?
Yep.
Just like when you go to the park, you'd be up in there for an hour or 2 hours wanting to play all day. That's not realistic. But okay, that was what you would like to change.
We like to like play for a long time. All of us.
Absolutely. I think all kids,
But
yeah.
in my school, they kind of like cut it short. So
because you have to split it, recess and what?
Lunch.
Right. And then you have to swap with the other grade, right? So, okay. What is something else you would like to change?
I think like
I know you said something else. I just can't recall now. You said recess and something else. Was it homework? No, it wasn't homework, because we need homework. What was the other thing?
I think it was like in the classroom.
Oh, can you think of something in the classroom that you would like to change?
I mean,
you said that
not really anything, because
yeah.
it kind of like in my school, in my classroom, it's fine for me. It fits me. I like it.
Okay, so it works. So the only thing you would like to change is recess, which I think a lot of kids would like to change that.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you would say homework, because a lot of kids say they don't want homework. But in our school, we don't have, right? On Mondays and Fridays, we have family nights. And I mean, obviously you gotta do some reading and you should do your iReady, but we do have some time where it's just for you to, connect with your family. So I think that's a pretty good deal.
Yep.
All right. So we went over the top 4 questions that I wanted to ask you. I think this was very helpful from a student's perspective, a 4th grader's perspective. And is there anything else you would like to share, Dominic, for teachers that are listening right now?
Something like so like what I said, like students could be like watching this right now, and they could get like a lot of like ideas from this. They could get like they could they could.
How about now? Let's focus on teachers, because this is the podcast, remember, for teachers, for educators. Students might not be listening to this. I mean, if I put it on the YouTube channel and I share that it's from a student's perspective, maybe students might, right? Or maybe, you know, like maybe some families might have their child share what they think, right? Or maybe this might start a movement where students are able to complete surveys or questionnaires based on their teacher's performance in the classroom, right? I think that this might help with that. But remember, this is a podcast for teachers, for educators, right? For school leaders. So is there anything you would like to share with a teacher based on this topic about student voice? And then we'll wrap it up with a challenge. If not, it's okay. You don't have to share anything else. You shared some pretty good information here. No? Okay. So that is the wrap for episode 19, A Student's Voice. This is my son,
Dominic.
And he was our guest speaker today. And I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys took something away from this. And I usually end each episode, Dominic, with a challenge. You know, try to be cool and hip, how people be doing challenges, you know, TikTok and all this other stuff. I don't know all the other ones. But I am going to challenge our educators to elevate student voice. You know what that means?
No.
Student voice, elevate, is to lift.
So
to lift student voice. So you know how I just allowed you to come onto the podcast and share your voice and your opinion and view on educators? I'm going to challenge educators to do that for their students in the classroom, to elevate, to lift their voice, to allow students to speak up about what they feel their teachers practice. Now, let me try to reword that. So I would challenge all teachers now to elevate student voices in the classroom by possibly putting together a survey, a questionnaire, asking them about your practices, about you as a teacher, about you as a person, right? And it could be the simple questions that I just asked, that we just asked on this podcast, right? How can teachers help students feel welcomed and comfortable in the classroom? What skills or attributes do you think make a great teacher? What is one thing you think teachers should know about their students? You might want to add a personal question about you. What do you think I did as a teacher? Good thing I did as a teacher, your teacher. What do you think one bad thing was, or one area of improvement for me as an educator, right? The only way we're going to grow and become better is if we can reflect on that, if we're able to listen to other people's perspectives, and also look at those areas of growth, right? We all have areas that we need to grow in. So that is my challenge for you. This is wrapping up episode 19. Again, this is your host, Geneva Rodriguez, with her son, Dominic. And again, you can listen to us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. You can check us out on our website, coffeestained.org, coffeestained.org, and the Instagram is coffeestains_edu, coffeestains_edu. Again, thank you for joining us, and it's a wrap. Say bye.
Bye.